Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Too Many Convos with Kenny Too Many. We're rolling along to episode 12 today, and I'm just gonna kind of wing this. At least that's what my note says, but I usually have outlines and whatnot, and this is probably a sentence with about four commas, ending with etc. So I'm winging it. Episode is titled "Life Never Stops." And it seems like inherently obvious. Obviously, life never stops. But as you get older, you realize the amount of things that both slowly and rapidly get added to your responsibilities, tasks. I guess responsibility and task list, um, but mostly responsibilities. And it's not just things. It's people. It's items. It's motions and activities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it snowballs. Um, the reason why I wanted to talk about this, I've been feeling kind of overwhelmed this week in realizing, uh, and I fixed it relatively quickly, which was pretty funny. And it may just be me, but life never stops. You need to be in control of how you're dealing with what's coming in and coming at you. Um, and Some people can do that very easily, some other people can't, but you need to find a way to regulate, silo, move, etc., and track all of these different responsibilities that are flying at you. And the reason why it came up is because I started a new job recently, taking on a lot of responsibility as a sales operations manager for a small company that really never had anybody doing this job. So while I'm rolling out, and I'm 31 days into this, while I'm rolling out and I start to take over day-to-day tasks, simple things and really like that, I'm doing that, quoting, processing, etc. I'm also doing a lot of extra curricular projects on the side, process flow mapping, process mapping, training documentation, all things that didn't really exist. Um, so I'm doing all of these things at once. And I realized it got to a point where, like this week, even yesterday, it was actually yesterday when I figured this out. Uh, I was getting overwhelmed and I was letting, like my previous episode, I was letting the negativity of me being stressed out about work bleed into other things in my personal life. So, what I realized last night, and I implemented it today and will implement going forward, because I was working till like 9 p.m. last night and Holly did not like that. And I don't blame her, but it was the only way I thought I could get things done. But what I realized is I was allowing every little thing during the day, every ping, every email, every call to distract me from what I could be doing instead of just segmenting the time to do particular things. So that's what I did. I segmented time in my day to work on the templates, like an hour to work on the templates, an hour and a half to do coding and processing. I had my meetings in there, but basically I blocked off time labeled as such to do those tasks within those time. And I was able to get all of the stuff done that I wanted to today and all of the gain tasks for all of the templates and whatnot that I need to get done. Um, and the day ended and it's great. I don't need to work after hours right now. Um, I could if I wanted to, but I don't need to. There's other things I can be doing, like that I should be doing, spending time with my family and whatnot. Um, but that was a quick adjustment. It could have been because what I never thought of is I've encountered this many times in my professional career, and I've just let it kind of spiral, and then I fixed it, but like not fixed it like this. This is pointed, like, hey, this is my quoting and quote processing time. If you get something outside of that, we'll talk about this later. And that way I can also slip in the gain test to work on these other documentations that obviously need to get done, but aren't truly high priority, if I want to say that, and still get them done in a timely enough manner where it makes sense and I'm completing my tasks. It's really good. But that's just work. You know what I mean? Um, there's always going to be something going on, work, life, just life busyness, stress. If you have kids, even more so. Both spouses work. Kids do activities like Peyton does horse, and Jordan has a boyfriend now, and Jordan's almost 18, and she's supposed to be getting a license driving, and blah 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 blah. She's gonna be graduating next year, and my sister's getting married. My brother just got married. Um, I got a I got an unending court case. Like there's and the financial implications. So the stress is just piling and piling and piling and piling and piling and piling and being replaced by other ones. And I was letting it get to a point where it was actually honestly overwhelming me this week, and I didn't really like it. Um, but it's just realizing that you got to make time for things, and people need to understand that, and people in your life also need to understand that, because I am end up being the guy who ends up doing everything within reason. My wife would choose to disagree, but that's not the point. Um, Sometimes it's okay to ask for help. I have a hard time asking for help. And if somebody thinks it's something stupid that I'm asking for help, well, then they're not really understanding of why I'm asking for help. Um, and they need to be more receptive to that. But another thing for the health of this stress and whatnot is taking the time for yourself. That's why I have my video game time sometimes. And that's why I work out as much as I do. I get up and I work out in the morning, and then I work out on lunch. That way, it's all during time when my family's not up or I'm not working. So when I have family time, it doesn't disrupt that. Now, sometimes I do extra workouts and whatnot, and it does theoretically um, disturb family time, but that's not really what I'm talking about here. Like that's like more weekends, et cetera, type of thing like that. But it just like realizing that some people like, why can't life ever give me a break? Why am I always busy? Why is it always stressful? Why is there always one other thing? When it rains it pours, etc., etc. And I've said all of these things multiple times, not trying to play the victim, but obviously just speaking the truth. um, what I realized is it's always going to be like that. It's always there's always going to be something. Maybe there will be lulls, but there will always be something. It's always going to be hard to within reason. There's always going to be work stuff. Things are always going to be busy. You're going to have multiple things going on. This might be the busiest summer of my life ever. And that's why it's kind of overwhelming to me. But you just take each thing at a time and do what you can within it. That's personal, professional, etc. Um, you have to. There's really no other way to go about doing so. You can't give up, and you can't let things fall by the wayside. So just take your time, make your time. That's the big thing. So take it and make it. If you know you have something to do, make sure you plot out time for that on your schedule. I have probably developed OCD minorly as I've gotten older, but I have task lists for everything. I have a personal task list for what I need to get done for the day, and I have a work task list for what I need to get done for the day. And I have check boxes and everything. I do OneNote. It's incredible. I have different tabs for different meetings. I keep notes and everything. Everything gets to be all okay up in my head. It seems silly, but it works. Everything goes on the Outlook calendar as well, work and personal. And that's when I started blocking off those hours for quoting time, processing time, etc. All of those things are important. It helps keeps me straight up here, which keeps me straight up in here and happy in here, and I can move on and I can be a better person for it. And honestly, it allows me to be just way better overall. So, um, yeah, that's just, and also make time for yourself. Happy, healthy. Make time for yourself. It can be so easy to get overwhelmed when you have people to be responsible for. And it's okay to be selfless, but it's also okay to be selfish sometimes and take care of yourself. Um, it's not a bad thing. Mental, physical, emotional self care is paramount to a long life, in my opinion, honestly. Um, but it's also okay to be overwhelmed. It doesn't mean you're weak. It just means there's a lot of shit going on, and you got to figure it out, write it down, segment it. It took me less than one day, and I've ran into this 100 times in my life, and it was never dawned on me as easily as it did yesterday. Where I just said, just fucking make time for it, Kenny. Make time for it. It needs to get done. Make time for it. Purposefully make time for it. Just like you've done everything else in your life, your workout schedule, etc. Make time for it. So I guess that's really really it. That's all I have for right now. Um, Another short episode, about 10 minutes, give or take. But I kind of like these, getting on, winging it, talking to you people. Let me know if there's any specific themes. Nobody's really commented, but views have been great for the shorts, so that's big thumbs up from me. Um, but yeah, no, episode 12, we're rolling. I got I still have ideas in the hopper for more like co-hosted guest style episodes that I just need to force these people to get on the line with. um, but yeah, like, subscribe, share this with your friends, comment if this helps you, if it hurts you, just let me know. Communication is key. I talk about this a lot. Communication is key. This is a symbiotic relationship. Um, so, well, that's it. Life never stops, and life comes at you fast, and life's tough. It's tough. So get yourself a helmet. Peace.